think this is one of those situations. I think that every man can relate to this, where we are typically as a species on time, and we're always waiting for our significant other for some whatever reason. And so today is one of those days. And what's interesting is that. I was chatting with the team, sitting there kind of waiting for her to show up. And the interesting thing about today versus any other day is that I have a hard stop. Like my schedule is pretty packed today, and I'm waiting, and the time's getting shorter. So she called my phone. I actually saw the call, but I was engaged with a team member, and I'm not going to interrupt them to take the call. And we have like this rule. So it's like, if you hang up and you call back, that means it's like an emergency. Like, hey, you need to take my call. But what I've requested is like, hey, if you want to talk to me during the day, call me on Slack. Like, that's the work channel. Like, I have my headphones on. I can actually talk to you. I'm not on my phone. It looks like I'm still working. Like, please do that. And so she immediately called that and was like, hey, I'm running late, a little bit of a showdown in here, but I think what you should do is go ahead and jump in the podcast video and get started. Otherwise, the episode will be like 2 minutes long. So we are going to expect to get, I could be funny and say rudely interrupted, but she's going to jump in and join us as we get started here. So I can actually talk about anything and everything that I want before she gets here. What's interesting is that in the notes, she left the special skills in the notes. And I thought to myself, does she have something planned? Because last week, I kind of brought that little toy in. I was like, hey, you have special skills. I want you to share it. And so I am curious if she's got something, but I do know that she's like all riled up because of the, whatever happened this morning with Abigail and just getting ready to come into the office, etc. So maybe it's just nothing, and I'm just making it up in my mind. So. One of the things that we actually didn't talk about last week that was in my notes was working. And, this podcast is really about a lot of our social life. Like it's almost kind of like we specifically sometimes won't talk about things so that we can actually talk about it and it be fresh in the podcast. And so it is kind of weird because we'll sit there and I can tell that we're both kind of bouncing around some topics because we're like, oh, well, we will bring that up at the podcast. So we talk. So I think the podcast is actually like literally part of our communication strategy, not only at work, but also like in our marriage. I feel like it's one of those things. So a lot of times we end up talking about, how things relate to us and what's going on and a lot of the fun things that we do, et cetera. But there is just a huge business component to what's going on. And it is always hard to articulate that, especially in one of these settings where we're kind of going back and forth. And I'm trying to, plow through a bunch of just everyday decisions altogether. And one of the notes that I had for last week was working in the business versus on the business. And I think when a lot of people get started, starting their business, they are clearly working in the business. They're doing the work, they're doing the planning, they're doing the marketing, they're kind of the jack of all trades. And then as you slowly bring in team members, they're able to work in the business and take off specific tasks. And then you can slowly work on the business. What's really interesting or different about public products is that we are in the business of creating new products, which means that my role a lot of the time ends up being just working in the business because I'm trying to figure out how it's going to work or how it's going to come together. And quite frankly, every business book or every person's like, you got to get from out of in the business and you have to start working on the business. And here it's a little bit different because I actually love working in the business. And so my goal is to hire and bring on new team members that can help work on the business and do some of those other tasks and take some administrative workload off of me so that I can actually do what I enjoy, which is actually working inside of it, working on, almost more of like an operations role and how something should work. But since we're in the software world, a lot of it is like, hey, how can we make software that's more efficient, that's more better, that's more this? And I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And I hope to continue to do that. So as we look to grow in 2026, I'm looking to bring on people that are actually taking on some of these roles, so I don't actually have to work on it and do it. I can really focus on where my passion, where my strengths are. Now, I do have to work on the business from a public product standpoint because at the over, I am, we don't have like a CEO role or a president role. It's just chief product officer because we make products. So like I kind of roll them together inside of in my head all together. Which, by the way, in an investor meeting, the guy kind of got, he was just like, you just don't have any clear leadership. You don't have a CEO. And I said, well, this isn't the public execution office. Like we're public products. We're not public executives, I guess. I don't know. It was just like a weird thing that he said to me overall in general. And I was just like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like you're entitled to the way that you think or believe. But here, the chief product officer is the chief executive officer, which is myself, president, whatever you want to go. I'm not really into the title thing. So it's, for me, it works, but it didn't work for him, which was very strange. Almost kind of like he was making a decision, like we didn't have good leadership because we didn't have a CEO position. And actually, specifically in our Colute venture, I'm listed as the chief product officer, and we don't have a CEO yet. And I've said, hey, our goal is to actually hire for this role. Like, I don't want to be the one that's running this company and growing it every day. I'm the one that helped, the one that designed and built the product for it and sees the product market fit. That's where my strength's going to be at. And so it'll be interesting. And by the way, we're actively looking for that role. And we've interviewed some people. We actually hired someone to fill that role. And then they quit like the day before they came and took something else. And I don't give people, that much second thought. I'm like, hey, it wasn't the right fit. No kudos, nothing bad. Just, hey, wish you all the best. But I always sit there and do wonder, like, I think Alex Hormozy said it the best. He's like, you need to, he's like, don't get angry. He's like, the best revenge is just be wildly successful. And so, like, I don't wish him any ill will, but I wish he, one day he wakes up, reads about how we sold our company for just an insane amount of money and goes, I could have been the president of that company. And to me, that's kind of like the ultimate whatever. But if you ask Beck, totally different story. Like she'll sit there and look at me and she goes, I knew he wasn't the right fit all along. And then in that particular case, I was like, why didn't you tell me? And she goes, well, you kind of seem to make your decision up. I go, but that's where I need you. Like you need to, even if I've made my decision, you need to be strong enough. And everyone in every organization needs to be strong enough to look at someone else and say, hey, I don't think this is the right decision. I'm going to support you, but I think you're making a bad decision. Like, I don't think it's the right person. And this is the reason why. Like, I think you need good dissidents in your organization. And I have always been that person in organizations that I've been in. I have no problem saying why I disagree and providing factual information about it, because that's my job. My job is to provide whoever the leader is of that venture and say, here's the reasons why I think you're going to fail miserably, da 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 da. And if they say, well, I hear you, but I still want to do it, then I immediately switch to, okay, well, then how can we take what you're giving me and make it wildly successful? It's not like this, something in the background or we're keeping score or along those times. I feel like I'm wearing the exact same thing as last week, by the way. It's been Arctically free. It's going to snow in Tampa. It has the potential to snow in Tampa this weekend. Yes.
Today was ice on the car.
Ice in the
I
road?
had to scratch
Oh, on the car?
my windshield.
Holy cow.
To go
Yeah.
to the dealership.
That's insane. Yeah, like it is record cold here in Florida. I do not think we're going to see any snow here in Sarasota, but just 45 minutes north, I think we're going to see potential for some snow, which is super cool. It actually snowed here in the 80s when I was a kid down in Naples, which is another hour and a half south. I want to say it was like 1988 or something like that. I was like 10 years old or something, maybe 11. I don't know. I'm dating myself. Actually, it might have been the year that Beck was born. So, anyway, that's a long time ago now too. So I really don't want to spoil any of our notes. And she's so quick. She's going to like run through all of them. But, one of the things that we are having to work through is just, we have outside clients and we're our own biggest client. We have outside clients, and being a husband and wife team, who also works together, which a lot of people do. Even my own parents. My dad owned a crane company, and my mom was the secretary. Right, she's the one that booked all the jobs. She got on the phone, and everyone called her, and then she used to call my dad on the radio because they didn't have cell phones back then, and we had this huge antenna that stuck off of our house, and we had like a CB radio, and my mom would literally call my dad and be like, all right, you got your next job, here's the address, blah blah blah, and he would just show up, so he'd go from one job to the next job, and everything was handwritten. There was no orders, no anything like that. All of a sudden, a crane would arrive on the job site, and they did that for many many years, and that job allowed my mom to actually work from home. So our phone number, we had two phone numbers, and one was the business phone number. Maybe both of them were the work number. Now that I think about it, I think it's just after 5 o'clock, our friends were allowed to call, but before that, no one was allowed to call during the day. But I'll have to ask her about that later because I don't remember. But she was allowed to work from home, which was really nice. I think most people in the construction business did. I mean, people didn't have offices. It was you called the house, and people worked there, and then they jumped in their work trucks in the mornings, and they went to their job sites. And so today, we have this really great world where we're trying to balance this world where Beck can spend so many hours a week at home. And then also do work from home, not only taking care of our ventures inside, but then also the ventures that she's working on as well. And then also come into the office, because there is no world where she can't not come into the office, because that's like one of my biggest tenets is building a team and her being a part of it. And I think what we're seeing here now that we've just celebrated Abigail's first birthday is like, she's like, man, I really like to get more time into the office. And even her mom was like, hey, have you looked at childcare? And we don't want to do childcare, but there's this idea that she can have a little bit more freedom and day. And I can look at her and know that she is very torn. She sits there and she's like, I love my time with Abigail, but I also still want to be a professional. And so that's one of the things that she's going to be figuring out here in 2026 is, how does she balance those two items there? So that'll be interesting to see altogether. There was no decision last week made on the haircut. So if you're watching this, you'll see that my hair is wildly long still. And we did a photo shoot for the new Moonlight or Die podcast, and my hair was wild and wrangly. And so I think I'm going to keep it wild and wrangly. And I am going to get it trimmed, but I'm going to keep it kind of more like fro and see if we can't keep that going on altogether. And I can see through the big window walking up is my co-host. And speaking of wild and crazy hair.
What? Is my hair insane? Okay,
Yeah. Don't even worry about that. So here we go. As promised, rudely interrupted in the middle of the show. Hey, your sweater looks great.
My hair's crazy. My sweater's crazy.
Did you tee that up in advance? Nice.
What?
Oh, you can't hear it. She got the crowd cheering you back all together.
Thank
So
you. Thank you very much.
yeah,
There
it
we
is. There it is
go.
again. Get it
Perfect.
Again. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even take anything out of the car. Yeah, what have you discussed? I was going to say, what a cluster.
Honestly, I've just been rambling on and on. It's like, what do you do? And I was telling the audience, I was like, hey, like I have a hard stop. So we launched homeinspections.com. Mm-hmm. We're getting a lot of organic interest. We haven't even done stuff, and we've got people like signing up, getting into the system.
I know, that's awesome.
It's very exciting, but we're really trying to do a deal with.
Is this on? Can you hear me?
It is on. It is on. I can
Okay.
hear you. We're trying to do a deal with a
Why
large
can't I hear
franchise.
anything? I can't hear him in my headphones. Do I normally hear?
No, you never hear. in your
Okay, I don't
headphones.
know, man.
You're fine. You're fine. It's because you started, and now all of a sudden you have this expectation. Your hair actually looked really good.
Thanks.
When you first walked in, it looked, but I think you actually curled it or something, or you did something to it.
Yes, I curled it. I
Yeah.
have a meeting with my consultant job today.
Yes. Okay. Well, great.
Can't go
You
in
look-
looking
you
homeless.
look amazing.
Trying to
So-
represent our company well.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But,
Well, I'm pretty pleased.
So crazy. That's great. Home inspections launching. People are interested. But it sounds like people have already heard about it for 15 minutes.
No,
so.
I haven't actually been talking about that at all. I've talked about other things, and you'll just have to listen to the podcast to hear
I
it.
guess so.
But it was because that we have that hard stop for home inspections that's why the podcast will be a little bit shorter.
I know.
Today.
This has actually
And
been
schedule.
this is not an argument or point of contention, but it's really difficult. Really, I think in any relationship and in any business, like it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or not. It's like a balance in a relationship of scheduling and planning and things changing and pivoting and tweaking and kind of, I don't want to say like whose schedule matters more, but like I have a lot of girlfriends and it's like the same.
Well, I think you and I both know whose schedule matters more.
Yours.
No, yours.
See, I feel that's not how I feel.
I do my
But-
best to accommodate you.
And I do my best to accommodate you.
That's
for
because
sure.
we're a team.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is really hard. It's like my sister owns her own business. And her husband's a firefighter. And so sometimes like things change for him or she finds out like last minute and he's like, hey, can't be there to watch the kid, and it's like, well, wait a second. Now I have to cancel my client. And it's like, because she owns her own business, like
Right.
her schedule's quote unquote more flexible. It's like, no, like I have a reputation to uphold.
but here's the difference, right? He works for someone
else.
and he has no control.
Right,
over his
exactly.
schedule.
But my
because
point-
if you have control, unfortunately, you're the one that bends a little bit, and that is why a lot of times I end up bending.
Well, and I mean,
more.
no one's running my schedule. But
No, but you have things like
Yeah.
you have more like appointments,
Right, with
and
other
things
people
like that,
and try to work them around.
That's the
Yeah.
time that's available, so you have to make
Yeah.
that work. Which
but
means
like
that
this
I have to make
week,
that work.
so like this podcast today, because I do have a consulting gig later. It was like we're gonna do it at this time, and originally you were available, and then there was an important meeting that got scheduled, and it was like, okay, now we're gonna try to squeeze it in. There was like 2 30-minute slots.
So that's very interesting because you're 100% right. The time was available,
Right.
But what had happened is that I had
You
given
see, what
the
had
group,
happened was
I had given them 3 available times to
And they
choose
picked
from,
the one.
and they waited 3 days,
Right.
to pick a time,
and then you slotted it in.
And so you had slotted in, but I already given that as available, and I was not. This is too important.
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
To not.
And then there's like, been trying to schedule a dinner with a friend, and we've got airport pickups.
That can be moved.
People are coming in. But I moved it 3 times.
But
And
that's
so it's
okay
just- yeah.
because and I thought about this more after our discussion.
See, I
last night.
disagree. I think that
And,
like
and here's the thing: you guys have moved it for the silliest reasons, and things like, "Hey, I know we were going to get together, but had a really good night last
That's
night."
not true.
No, this is 100%
no,
true.
it's not.
You
I
haven't.
totally disagree.
You haven't, but the other party has postponed gatherings many times. Yeah, don't even go there.
But-
you're smiling because you know it's true.
No, I don't know if I agree or I don't. But we have so much to cover.
That's like woman speak for like, you're right. I just don't want to say you're right.
No.
Yeah. It's like, have you seen this new thing in social where it's like she's splaining? It's like
mansplaining.
yeah, mansplaining, and then she's splaining.
It's mansplaining is
Or no,
usually what happens.
it was like it's like I don't know, Shplanagon. I don't know.
Excuse me?
It's not she's splaining. It's a different word altogether. But anyway, it's where it makes fun of it. It's like it should be like a 4-sentence thing, and it's like 100-sentence response.
That's like how I
Yeah.
talk about
Gosh,
everything.
I look at it. I'm like, oh, this is back.
Yeah. I'm an explainer. I like the details. I like when people provide me with the details, and so I feel like I owe them the same.
I know.
You know?
I know. It's like, she's like, hey, tell me how your day was. Good.
You.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm like, how was your day today? Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what happened. It started at 9:02.
I know. That's how I am.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I
okay.
haven't touched the notes at all.
Okay, I was going to say, first of all, I was on my way here. And I was in a little bit of a rush but it's like, traffic in the morning, everyone's trying to get to work and whatever else. But on my way, the train tracks, there's like 2 train tracks on University.
Yep.
And I don't think I've ever actually seen the train tracks drop or a train come through. And today, like the sound started going. And by the way, I'm the car, like right next, like I stopped. But sometimes people don't stop, right? Like
Right.
sometimes people like don't realize it's a train track or it's too late. And you're like, oh, whoops. Like you're waiting for like the light to turn or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped, but I was like a little bit after the white line. And so like the sound starts going off and I'm like, oh, shnikes. Like looking at like the lines.
Was it coming your way or a different way?
So it was going the opposite way. Like the
Yeah.
things dropped down on the other side of the road.
On University.
But so like the light turned green for all of us to go through the light. And every single car that was like on that side of the train tracks hesitated. Like nobody went. And it's like
Because you could hear the ding ding sound.
yes. And so everyone's like, is the train on this track or on
Yeah.
another? And I was the first one to make the move because I looked in both directions and didn't see it. And I thought, well, I'm getting across these tracks. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's coming.
Do you know we can hear the train downtown? Because there's that really closer train track.
on 10th Street or whatever right there. Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually hear it.
Yeah. Well, our condo is in Lake Placid. I mean, the train goes right behind our place.
When I was a kid there,
Yeah.
we used to put pennies and tape them to the train track.
Oh, really?
And then what happens
They go
is...
flying off?
No, that's why you tape them. If you just set them on there, the vibrations will vibrate the pennies off.
Oh.
And you might get one or two that get smashed.
Oh, it sparks them.
But if you actually tape them to it, what it does is you can make a penny sword. And so what happens is that the pennies get smushed all together.
Oh, my God.
And like a long piece.
And they're melted?
Yeah, kind of. They're just mashed together. So you make a penny sword.
Well,
And
that-
you'll get like little, like
I
anywhere
feel like
between
we need to
4
show the kids how
10
that
inch.
happens.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, without a doubt.
That's
100%.
crazy town.
We did talk
But-
about snow potentially coming to the area.
To whose area?
Oh, you didn't know this? It's going to snow in Tampa
No.
this weekend. Yes. Yeah, they're predicting snow in Tampa.
Is this weekend Gasparilla?
No, but it is Disney for some of our friends.
I know, which is insane. Oh, they're going to be in Orlando.
They're gonna
No,
be in
I had no
Orlando. It'd be
idea it was
just
going
as
to snow.
cold, if not colder.
It's absolutely freezing outside. It's like you can't. Yesterday, normally we go on walks like with Abigail or whatever. Yesterday, I went into an abandoned mall to walk in the air conditioning. I was actually thinking. So you went to VMI, Virginia Military Institute. It's amazing. And when we were there just visiting the facility, they have like a multi-million-dollar indoor training facility for all of the cadets there. And they have that wonderful walking path on the top.
Yeah.
And they like open it up to the public.
Yeah.
And all I was thinking yesterday is like, man, I wish I had a place
That
like
walking
that.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can if you wanted to drive as far as UTC, you could drive around there and.
But
there's-
I don't
feel like
want
it's
to
filled
go
with
around
older
all the
people and
stores.
moms.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. But I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to walk around the mall.
It's before it opens up. It's when all the stores are closed. They'll open it up for the walkers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
See,
I'm
I
not
don't
sure if
know
they do it
this.
or not, but it's before this because the stores don't usually open till 10.
Right.
And you'll get the walkers at like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning.
Oh, that want to
And-
walk inside.
And they're just walkers.
I hate walking inside. Like the joy of walking is being outside, you know?
Oh, I get that. Except when it's
Freezing.
40 degrees.
Well, and I grew up in Michigan and I truly don't know how I did it. Like everyone is so cold there right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely freezing. And I just, every time the heat's on in the house, I think, oh, you know what? It's not that bad. And the sun does come out, which is nice because the sun doesn't even like come out oftentimes in Michigan. And when it does, you're blinded because it hits the snow and it's like, you know, white.
yeah. Okay.
But anyway, every time I think like, oh, maybe it's warmed up outside, I go to let Pepper out. I'm like, nope, still absolutely freezing.
It's absolutely freezing.
Yeah, I know. It's
Especially
brutal.
for Floridians.
But speaking of cold weather, we really lucked out because this past weekend was Abigail's birthday.
It was.
And
And we had gorgeous weather on Saturday.
yes, so our baby girl is 1. And
Yes.
we had a party on Saturday for her.
Party in the park.
Yeah. We were originally going to do it at our house. And it was like the idea of having,
20 people.
20 adults, 10 kids inside of our
Yeah.
home.
Because I didn't want to set the banquet hall up, and it was just kind of like one of those things. We had talked about setting the banquet hall and just doing like big open grass area and chairs and couches and making it a hangout.
Loungy.
But I think that we did the right thing, and I did put in the notes here that there was like what I would call shadow sickness. It's where like people are sick, but like they're like, oh, I'm not going to say anything, and everything will be fine, or I'm not really sick. It's just a cough, it's just a tickle. And so we had friends that didn't come because they're like, look, we're like flat out 105 temperatures. So like, we're not going to come.
Well,
And
their
it was like, well,
daughter-
you could come because it's outside. And it's like, ooh, that'd be good. And so other people are like, you know what? It's outside. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you have all this shadow sickness that exists.
Well,
around you.
So it's so interesting because it's funny. First of all, the flu's going around. It's season. The weather's changing. It's whatever. I feel like a couple weeks ago when we were at the lake for New Year's, everyone was like, the flu's insane, right? That was just the beginning of January. And there were like numbers on the news where they were like, so many people have influenza right now. It's like higher numbers than normal.
Yeah.
And everyone was going, oh, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. And that seemed like a brutal.
It's just colder, I think.
Right. That seemed brutal. And that's the thing. I sit there and think about, I did grow up in Michigan. People were sick all the time, And so I'm like, and I never thought anything of it. And one of my girlfriends texted me this morning. She actually started to not feel great. The one whose kid was sick a week ago. They thought they had gotten through it. And I think this morning they woke up. It's like typical, right?
Oh, yeah.
And just when you think you're over it, you're not. And anyway, she's like, but this is the type where you just like take medicine and like show up to work anyway, kind of sickness. Like not that big of a deal, right?
You know what's funny is that when we met, you were always just like, sickness? I'm coming to work no matter what.
I thought it was
like, I'm gonna
bullshit
power
if
through
people
anything.
took a
Like,
sick day.
Your sick day?
Because
you better be dying if you're going to come in here.
That is exactly how I felt. But the reality is that you didn't used to be able to work remotely. Like a lot of people had computer stations at work.
Right.
I mean, sure, I had a laptop my whole life, but not everybody
computer
did.
Stations at work and doing that. Amazon announced this morning that they're cutting another 16,000 jobs.
Really?
All corporate jobs, not handlers, not downsizing from Christmas.
Really?
Yes. And they specifically said it is not 100% because of AI.
Okay.
That's exactly what they put in it. Oh, and by the way, no one who's in corporate knows who they are who's getting let go. They announced it and they hadn't even
Done it yet? No way.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
That's surprising.
Oh gosh, no, it's here's the thing.
Because I sit there and go, you're a big company. People make a huge effort to be like one of the greatest companies to work for. And I mean, Amazon's not a Google, but Amazon's a big deal.
No, Amazon's a Google.
Right. Like, and I meant from a cultural perspective internally for the employees, but I think
I know what you're saying. You're saying like
I'm
Google,
saying like
which is more like tech startup, and Amazon's not like a tech startup.
No, they're not trying to be best places to
basically
work.
a tech Walmart.
Right. Like they're not trying, like it's not like you sit there and hear their employees being like, it was the best place ever. Like they treated me so well.
No, I do not believe that Amazon
But
has
it
that.
seems out of character because they are such a big deal from a PR perspective to announce a like massive layoff like that before letting your employees know.
I got a great idea just now.
Okay.
What if, in this particular case, I leave the podcast and you can continue to the full amount with just you at the end?
Okay. You got to go right now.
I got to go in 8 minutes.
Well, 8 minutes, then we're like practically there, but that's fine.
I know, but then you can round out the last couple minutes. Talk about whatever you want to talk about without me. And then we both can listen to the podcast to see what each other talk about. Absolutely, I trust you. Yeah, yeah. I trust you so much I let you order Snack Train. So we've been having a problem here in the office because the person
it's been, Maria, it's been like an 8-month drought.
Not 8 months.
No.
But it's all your fault because you were the one.
You cannot blame me.
Okay.
No, that was famine.
Your assistants, your one of your core duties, I'm pretty sure it's listed under one of your core duties, was just making sure the office
on my
was
job
running.
description.
Like, your job description is like office running. And we have Snack Train here, and it's been destitute for months. And it's kind of like the first of the month, we buy X amount of food. It's got to last us 30 days.
First of all, I will just say I've come into this office and like, I don't even think top of mind on Wednesdays when my mom's watching the baby to bring water, God forbid. And I've been so parched coming in. I'm here the whole day. Guess what we have today? Water.
We have, our office officially has a water machine.
Thank God. No, we really needed it.
And the team literally goes to me, and I can't remember if it was Kyle or Megan, and I think it was Kyle was like, "Hey, can we get one that has like hot water? Like, can we like get a nicer one? Because they all come with cold water, They all have like a little.
I didn't even know you could do that, but I'm gonna have some hot water and cold water.
Yeah, it's
today.
hot. And by the way, Kyle said it's like burn your face off hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Well,
And
does that mean we need to order tea? Do we have tea bags?
No, not here, but that's something we could certainly talk about.
Does Kyle have
Will it actually
tea
arrive
bags?
or happen? I don't know.
What are you talking about? So anyway, we sat in a meeting the other day, and he's like, Becky, you need to be paying attention to what we have in the office and what's in stock and what's not in stock. We can't be running out of toilet paper. And I'm like, yo, if we need something, it's called modern day. Okay, we
I
order it
already
online.
Amazon it. Trust me. Paper when it comes to paper towels,
So
TP, whatever, I get it next day.
So I'm going. First of all, we've been making Walmart
Okay,
runs, which I will say.
it all comes down to the M&Ms, okay? Because the M&Ms are super expensive on Amazon.
But the ones that I got were like huge in bulk. And yeah, they were the priciest thing that I ordered. But if we were to compare to the small size at Walmart, I think we got.
No, because I always do like BOGOs and other things. I always get like twice as much for half.
Okay. We're not including your BOGOs, your good finds.
So a couple big things.
But so
I take
anyway,
off.
I stocked the office with Snack Train.
did.
We ordered it all online. It was very cost effective. He's all worried about DoorDash, but Amazon's amazing or wherever because you can
I'm
just
100% okay with Amazon.
Yes.
I think of like
We don't
how
need to, like,
long
tip a
pretzels
driver.
sit in a warehouse before they, it's like how old is this thing of pretzels?
But where are they before Walmart orders them to be on their shelf?
They're at the pretzel factory and they go straight
Fresh.
From
They go straight from the conveyor belt
yes.
into a bag the day before I go to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Walmart worker.
Because we know that people at Walmart eat pretzels.
And they care about.
And the pretzels flow through Walmart.
They want fresh pretzels every day
Yes.
sold at Walmart.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of the food.
Anyways, we have a water machine. Super excited. We have Snack Train for the month.
Okay, but before you go,
Yes.
what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say a couple things. One, super excited. Prodiax is next week
I
on
know.
Monday. So we'll be talking about the results of that. I'm working on the Prodi points for the year, adding all the team members and kind of going back to my notes. And I got to make some decisions on how we're going to kind of roll it out for just some of our overseas members and some other. We have some unique situations that I'm trying to work out and everything like that. But Prodi points. If someone has a company, it's like, hey, how do you reward the people who have helped build up your company? And you and I know this is like people give ownership of companies, but the problem with giving ownership is that ownership doesn't really benefit unless one day you sell the company. And so if you sit there and go, we're not really going to sell this thing for a long, long time, how do we create something that can be beneficial? And so we came up with Prodi points, which allowed us to reward along the way. And then also, if we were to sell something, we would have a mechanism to distribute wealth.
Distribution,
to everyone.
Okay.
And so, because we did add a significant number of people to the team, and we don't have like a Prodi points as part of onboarding, we're going to cover it again real briefly at ProdiX. But I would just want to say, hands down, like ProdiX this year, like from the graphics to the team to the videos to
It hasn't
the
happened
everything.
yet.
Like I am just so excited. We have really cool shirts this year. Like
It all came together, and it does make a difference. Like we have a team of people that are helping bring
Put it
things
together.
to fruition. And in the past, it was just me and you, and it was a little shorter, and it was a smaller team that we were doing it for as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna feel like the real deal this year,
Yeah.
and it is pretty exciting. So
Make
that's
sure we
happening on
grab
Monday.
Jerry's shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah, to bring home today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it with you. It
Sounds
should be
good.
right on my desk.
Well, you got to run, but I'm ready to talk
Yeah.
about reality TV.
I
so
know,
see
and
you
I'm
later.
going to miss it, but I will say, I have never been more. I am super excited for Traders.
Yeah.
I have never been more excited for an episode than for tonight's episode, and I'm just hoping. I'm really hoping that she throws the thing at him, and he has to catch it. Like I'm praying that that's what goes down tonight.
Well, I don't. It's okay. So what he's talking about is in Traders, they have to do. If anyone's watching Traders, it's essentially like there's 3 traders, sometimes more. And what is that?
That's the cost of the tape to order packing tape for the office, branded packing tape. It's insane.
For BC sales?
Yes.
Oh, $1,600 to tape boxes shut.
Tape boxes shut.
That's insane.
I know. We
Okay,
gotta
but
find
what's more
something.
exciting than tape?
It's Traders.
Okay, wait a second.
got
You
1
just got
minute.
me so freaking distracted. No, you can go.
Oh, all right. All right. We'll see everyone. I can't wait to listen to you later.
Smile for our picture.
All right.
Okay, we always do that at the end. You guys got to experience it firsthand. So we have a nice featured image. Sometimes we forget, and then Maria takes the funniest image of me in the middle. Okay, I'm going to get back to traders in a second. So last night I went on Netflix. We're just going to talk all about my TV habits. So I went on Netflix, and there was this thing that was the secret mall apartment. Did you see that? Anyway, I'm looking at Maria to see if she saw. I should just be like, Maria, come on right over here. We'll talk about TV. But it's called the Secret Mall Apartment. It's literally this like group of artists that decide that they're going to set up an area in the mall. And this guy, who is an incredible artist, was watching this mall be built. And architecturally, he was like super interested in what was happening. And so they found this empty space. He knew of an empty space. They were originally saying like, oh, we'll go to the mall for like a week, a day or whatever. Well, they found this empty space, which is crazy. They were like shimmying through walls and going up like 90-foot ladders. But they discover it and they're like, you know what? This is something that we can actually make work. They wind up, I'm telling you, they move in couches and cinder blocks. And I mean, this team of people like recreated the space, but everyone's sitting there going, it's not what you expect people to do, like freeloaders essentially staying in this space that they weren't supposed to be in, not paying for it and like hiding and kind of breaking rules. But they were artists. And so they were planning all these projects, like really meaningful projects, to go to different states and do programs in hospitals and whatever. But the reason I thought of this is because he was talking about how expensive the tape was at BC Sales. This guy did tape art because it was never artwork that they were contracting him for or paying him for to do. It was all just work they chose to do. I don't know how these people lived. Like the guy was like, sometimes I had 41 cents in my bank account, but it was a different time in the world, obviously. But one of the things they did is they'd go and they'd like tape outlines of things and make it happy and go into schools and teach the kids how to do it and let them be creative as well. But they went to New York and it ended up being a 5-year project where they went around and everyone, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm quoting it, but it was like everyone who had passed away in the World Trade Centers, they spent 5 years going around the city and creating a silhouette, a taped out silhouette of each individual in different areas around the city that would have like meant something to them, or maybe where they lived or their neighborhood or their fire station. It was insane and very cool. So old school footage, they like documented the whole thing, so it's like not pretty to watch, but it was super interesting and cool to watch. But back to traders. So yes, there's like a murder happening in plain sight or whatever, and he was talking about what he hopes happens. But I saw this interview the other day. So Traders, Alan Cummings is the host of the show, and he wears the most extravagant outfits. Like they are absolutely insane. And every day you just don't know what to expect. And one of the past contestants on the show was being asked, like, how do they come up with these outfits? And literally he said that they interview you for the show, and then they tell you, we need you to show us 15 looks before they even go on the show. Because someone's sitting there talking, like there's a girl from Love Island, and she's like, she showed up in a full-blown red latex outfit at like 7 a.m. to breakfast. And what's crazy is they wear I didn't even realize this, but they wear the outfit to breakfast. They go do a challenge in like their scrubs or whatever. That's usually like in water or something where they're getting dirty. And then they're wearing the outfit again at the round table that night. So what's insane is that they literally do their own glam, and they're getting ready in the morning to get to the breakfast table wearing these outfits. And then they go and do this challenge in the afternoon, and then they're doing their glam again and getting ready to get back in the same outfit from the morning. So like talk about a lot of work just to get ready for a day. I don't think I could do it. But what this person said is they have to show 15 looks. This person was like, I literally got a stylist to even show the 15 looks because and they say the show doesn't require it, but they do say that, the host is Alan Cummings, and they want you to match his fashion energy because the fashion is such a big part of the show. Like it's this murder mystery, and they want you to play the part. And so not only do they look at your outfits ahead of time and approve or disapprove them to even come to the castle, they know what everybody else is wearing because they got the 15 looks from everyone. They assign you your look on the days. So everyone looks different. And it's like this whole outfit. Anyway, absolutely blows my mind. So crazy. But that happened. And then we talked about Kyle and Amanda last week from Summer House, but Summer House starts next week for the new season. And it is so wild. They've separated now. They're saying that it's for the better. They've been in interviews and had like cordial conversation. They seem to be, being friendly about it, regardless of what the tabloids say. But I was thinking to myself, it's got to be so crazy to look back on a season. I hate to say it, watching your relationship fall apart. Like there's been other seasons where they literally mentioned that sometimes there will be an argument on the show about something that happened. And when they watch it back or watch it together, it's literally like they're having the same argument all over again. And I couldn't imagine that because like I get in arguments with my significant other. Like, trust me, Chris and I have our moments, but I can't imagine having to have a physical video and rewatch it. Like, of course you'd get pissed again. You were pissed in the first place for a reason. So like if you have to relive it, it's kind of like you work through something because you get over it or you choose to let it go. But then if it's thrown back in your face, you're like, oh my gosh. So I feel like they've already experienced challenges in the past with their relationship being like blasted, to the world. But now it's like they've already separated. They made the decision. They got through it. They feel like they're in a better place and they're going to have to. And you know what? Like Paige said, she stopped watching all of the episodes. Not that she was going through, anything herself like that. I mean, she did break up with Craig, but it's just one of those things where I'd sit there and go, I'm not going to watch. It is crazy because you're on TV, so you want to see what the edit was and how you were portrayed. But it also takes a bigger person to be like, I'm going to make the money and be on the show. I wouldn't say bigger person, just like that's some willpower to not turn on the TV and watch yourself. I would just be like, okay, I'm just going to not watch it. Whatever happens, happens. But what's hard is there's a lot of people who comment online about what happened on the show. And so that makes you even more intrigued of like, what did they see? Like, what was the edit? I need to know. But anyway, we're coming to an end here. It was an amazing week. And yes, it was a fun-filled week of birthday extravaganza for our little 1-year-old. People came over what felt like every day and brought presents and love and were very appreciative. She liked to rip the presents apart, but her favorite thing was the happy birthday song. And every time people sang it, it's like she knew it was for her and would just squeal and clap and laugh. And so it was fun. Hard to believe that much time has gone by and it's time to kind of get back to work for me anyway. But we will see you guys next time. This is so awkward leaving by myself. Chris usually does the send off. Peace out.